What's up, guys? We're here in the city of Rancho for another episode number 2, with the best show in town right now, Spitting Fire. We have a very, very special guest that I personally reach out to. This guy has said no to me. I'm in debt with you already, Jose. I don't know how I'm going to pay him back. Maybe some sweat equity, pass out some flyers for him. But he never says no to me. And I definitely wanted to have him on this show as... Like I mentioned before, this is episode number 2, Jose.
Oh, nice.
So we're still brand new. We're still babies, but I can't wait to see what happens. Right now, I'm officially sponsored by Celsius. Reach out to me. I'm looking for a sponsor. And yes, Logan Paul, I'm going to be bringing in Prime. Prime will be our next sponsor next time. But today is Celsius. Yeah. So, Jose, you're here in the hot seat. Today, we're going to be asking you a couple questions for my audience. Yes, most of our topics are going to be real estate related, and we're going to try to just weave our way in and out. But Jose, can you tell our audience a little bit about you, who you are, where you operate, how long you've been in the business?
Yeah, so I've been in the business for about 20 years now. I operate in the Orange County area primarily. We recently moved out here into the Riverside area. We do a little bit of South LA County. We're creeping up LA.
Okay, got it.
We do Long Beach and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I've been in it. It started 10 years in loans and then flipped over into the real estate space.
Wow, 10 years. I didn't even know you were in it for 20 years.
Yeah, man. I know it's been a long time. Since I was 18, I started, I got an opportunity to be a loan processor and I crushed it, so worked every day.
So saying that you've been in it for 20 years, that means you went through the crash that everybody keeps talking about?
Yep. That was fun.
Yeah?
That's actually when I opened up my own mortgage company in 2008. Yeah, it was a good time to do that.
Jesus, what the hell? Oh, yeah, man, I was still in the restaurant business.
Yeah, no.
I was actually cooking at Puck's in Hollywood. Oh, yeah. 2008, man, it's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, it sucked. I could tell you, I used to work for a little company called Bear Stearns.
Bear Stearns.
So have you ever heard of The Big Short, the movie?
Yeah.
The company they're talking about is Bear Stearns. So
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I worked there. I worked 2 years as a loan processor, and my account executive and my account manager really liked the way that I worked. And so they were like, hey, we're going to be moving into California. Would you want to interview for the job? And I did, and I was hired on the spot, and I went from making $20,000 to like $80,000. So that was kind of nice. Yeah.
So you've been in the trenches for a long time.
Yeah, man. And it so that REO, a little bit of title, we dabbled with insurance a little bit. So yeah, I've been in the space for a while. I've been doing Zillow for 10 years now.
Wow. Zillow, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody knows Zillow, right?
Yeah. I just, I did the door knocking thing. I guess I wasn't cute enough. It didn't work for me. And I sent out I think it was 32,000 mailers.
Wow.
And I didn't get any kind of feedback. Maybe I did it wrong, because I know for some agents in our office, mailers really work for them. So everything works. It's just about how you do it and how you create that recipe, right? It just, some girl came up to me and was like, hey, you know what, Jose? There's this company called Zillow. If you pay them like $500, people call you and tell you that they want to buy a house.
Oh, nice.
And I always knew that if I could get in front of people, that I had good intentions, number one, and I was a professional, number two, and that I knew I could get the job done. So my third person I closed them, and I was hooked. I was like, this is where it's at.
You were sprung on Zillow.
Yeah, I was sprung on Zillow. And during that time, everyone hated it. So everyone was like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Yeah, they call themselves, there's actually a group on Facebook called Zillow Killers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hate that company. I don't know why.
I think it's, as realtors, we missed the boat of taking ownership of the space in 2002, 2004. I think it was when the MLS authorized Zillow to promote the properties. But evolution of technology and realtors is something that you need to adaptability is extremely important in this business.
Absolutely.
And if you're not pushing the boundaries, I heard at one of the Zillow events, we were talking to a guy from the Marriott, the CEO, and he was like, did you know that at one point the Marriott wanted to buy Disney and that they have cruises and that they do this and they do that? And so the Marriott has been around for so long because they can adapt.
Correct.
Right? So even when like Airbnb came about, they started doing the extended stays. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that, right?
yeah, absolutely. I'm on a budget still, Jose. I don't stay at the Ritz-Carlton.
Right. And then so they started doing. They moved into that extended stay space just because they wanted to compete against Airbnb. And so he said, disrupt yourself before the industry disrupts you. Right. And then so it's just continuing to find opportunities, continuing to rework the way that you're currently working. It's key in this business,
Especially right now. This is no secret. I feel like it's like pre-COVID because I went full time. A lot of people don't know my story, but I was a full time agent 2 weeks before COVID hit in California without knowing of it.
Yeah.
I just remember putting in my 2 weeks notice, and then I heard about COVID. And I just thought people were going to turn into zombies from what you were hearing, right?
Yeah.
This whole virus and all that. And from all the movies, I'm a big zombie guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on?
So for us, we tripled the amount of business we did because we were working on the online space already. So we were already creating buyers presentations that were through Zoom. We were already in that space. So when it hit, it just like 10x, right?
Absolutely. We 10x everything, guys.
So it just like really 10x. And I mean, we were doing 20, 30 presentations a day.
Wow.
Right. And closing people like that. And obviously we were fully masked and all that good jive, right? Created processes for, the addendums and the coronavirus addendum and like things like that to just expedite the process.
Everything was virtual. I remember buying one of these fancy gimbals, I think you call them.
Gimbals, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was on Amazon. Okay, which one do I get to do lives? I was doing live virtual tours.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was kind of airy because I was like walking through these houses and sometimes, you hear stuff.
Yeah. But
then I got used to it. And like you said, we skyrocketed.
Yep.
I mean, we were doing 0% commissions because we knew that we were going to get paid anyways because people were overpaying. Yep. We just had the buyer pay us our commission. So it was very easy for us to get a lot of listings.
Yeah. And that's also when I started the, I do videos for my listings now, right? So before I even go to the listing appointment, I do a full-on video explainer on like the market, the area, how I'm going to market their house, the different marketing budgets. And because it's live and it's extremely transparent, I think people really resonate with that. Like today's consumer has so much access to information that you can't really like bullshit them too much. You really got to know your stuff.
They'll look you up.
Yeah.
Like when I go on presentations, I think I was telling you this, when I get some lead, I want to say the lead source.
Yeah.
A proposal gets sent to them. And then if they like my proposal, they click on it, then the company releases their information, and that's when I contact them.
Yeah.
And I know we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's how they eliminate, like you said, the entrepreneurs, not the entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I mean, this is starting to I like this age of real estate right now because it's moving from the non-professional agent into the professional agent space, right? And essentially what I mean by that, it's like when I was introduced to real estate, it was like, hey, you're going to show up every day at 8. You're going to work your butt off. You're going to make your prospecting calls. You're going to have a schedule. You're going to create this. And, luckily I was mentored in that way. So I've never known not come into the office. Like, it's just I show up at 8 regardless of what the hell I got to do that day.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that for 20 years.
Yeah.
So when I tell agents, it's like, I see you waltzing in here at 11, dude. Like, you must have a lot of money, right?
Or you're the owner.
Yeah. Like, I don't even, it's just I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you don't have that cadence that you need to be a professional, right? You need to have discipline. You need to make sure that, you show up and you show up for your clients, right?
Absolutely.
It's really kind of important.
Yeah, not only that, I believe also education is a big part of it.
Yes.
You got to be practicing, rehearsing, drilling every day. Me and Johnny, my partner, he's not here today. When we started the Empire Academy, we knew there was something missing right now. We're still brand new. We're like maybe 4 months, 3 months. We already have about 25 mentees. And we're trying to break through offices and teach people sales.
Yeah.
That's why we're also with 10X Grant Cardone. You see my logo. I'm branding it. When we signed up for a grant, we knew it was going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And just by learning how to talk, saying the right things, asking the right questions,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. The confidence, bro, is like,
Oh yeah, no man. I mean everything. It's So I have a few sayings, Joseisms that I say.
write them down, guys.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. He just dropped a couple nuggets a little while ago.
Yeah. So I always scripting is extremely important.
Yeah.
But I tell people it's not in the script, it's in the drip. Right.
Nice.
So it's how you say it, how you internalize your script. Your script is just your guide, it's your form, but you still want to finesse it and make it yours, right?
Correct.
And then so the foundation of our business, it's all based on training. Our agents practice 15 to 25 hours a month. That's
Nice.
every single month, right? And then so we do 3 hours of role play during the week. We have our lunch and lend, right?
Lunch and lens.
Yeah, yeah. So we teach them actually almost how to become a underwriter, right? How to underwrite these files, because that's the skill set that they need when they're in front of clients, right? Like they need to be able to figure out, is this a real client? Is this not a real client?
Yep.
And mainly it's not even if it's a real client or not, but it's what is going to be their journey to home ownership, right? Because everyone's journey is a little bit different.
Correct.
Right. And then so we believe we're professional sales athletes.
Correct.
Right? And that's our term that we utilize in our office.
I like it.
And it's like, people are playing high school, people are playing college ball, but we're in the pros, baby. So
We're in the Super Bowl,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. We're competing against big time teams, and I'm proud of all of them. They all have a really good system. They all do things almost exactly the same. We all kind of do the same thing, but just slightly different. And then so like our company started 2.5 years ago, and with 6 agents, 13 pending transactions.
Wow.
And year to date, or like during that span, we've closed over 1,600 transactions, over 400 listings.
Wow, 1,600. Did you guys hear that? 1,600, not 16.
Yeah, 1,600 transactions, and we just keep going, and I pride myself in newer agents. Like it's really the ability to be able to help them succeed in a business where they're, the stats are stacked against them, and most likely they're gonna fail. We come in and we flip that upside down.
Nice.
Right. It's like for us, our pull through for most agents that are taking it serious, I would say is about 80% of them make it.
The 80-20 rule, huh?
So it's upside down. It's not like 20 and then 80. It's the other way around, right?
That's nice. That's very, very rare.
Yeah.
So, Jose, I got a couple questions I got to ask you that my audience wants to know. Can you share with me some key strategies and principles that have contributed to your success today as a broker, as an agent, as a leader?
Yeah. Well, the first one, like, again, I would say is just creating a schedule for yourself. It's the first thing that I tell any agent that comes in.
So when you say a schedule, tell me more about that. Is that showing up at the office at 11 and going to the gym at 10 or?
No. It's like, you just became an entrepreneur. Congratulations.
Yes.
And your first hire is yourself.
Correct.
Right. And so what time are you going to expect yourself to show up? What activities should this person be doing? And kind of look at yourself from a third person angle. Right. Correct. And so, for me, I like to be in the office by 8 in the morning, 7:30, and then getting started kind of with my day there. By 8:30, I'm already meeting with my assistant. I'm going over whatever it is that we're going to be doing over the day. What's the highlights? What's the important things? I have a virtual assistant that helps me out. Shout out to Jeff, my boy.
Shout out to Jeff. Yeah. Jeff, where you at?
Yeah, he's running the operations right now at the office. And then so he really got me involved with virtual assistants and VAs. And it's helped me quite a bit, doing certain tasks that, I shouldn't be doing.
No, absolutely. I'm with you. And like when you're saying the schedule, I'm listening to myself because my schedule starts at 3:45 actually.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people don't know because our training is in Florida.
Yeah.
They're 3 hours ahead of us.
Okay, gotcha.
But the reason why me and my partner Johnny did it that way is so that by 9 o'clock California time, we're already ready to go. We probably did like 3 different role plays.
Yeah. By that time.
And my mind is like, bro, I want to smile and dial because we're in production, and I hate voicemails. I need to talk to somebody, bro.
Yeah.
I want to test that, like you said, the script. I want to test my objection on them and see what kind of reaction I got.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty true. Like one of the things that would happen where you get an objection and you're like, man, how could I do better on this, right? So I would write them down. I got that from Grant Cardone. Right, write them down and be like, okay, so how could I sound better next time I get this objection from somebody, right? And I would practice it with people in the office. I would go run up to them and I'll be like, tell me no, right? Yeah. And then I would kind of go over it with them. And then so now I was waiting for it. I was waiting for a client to be like, oh, no, Jose, or like, are you the listing agent? No, I'm not the listing agent, but working closely with the listing agent to show this house and get this property sold, right? Whatever it was, right? So it just, it's something that I practice for sure.
No, absolutely. I remember wanting to learn the word no. And the word no means, guys, it means next opportunity. Oh, no, not right now. And I knew that before I made this call, Jose.
That's actually a pretty good one. So, so I would say having a schedule is probably one. Being disciplined, open-minded, and being coachable are probably the most important things. Like, even for me, like, I'm being coached by my agents as well, right? Like, I look at it from that angle of, like, learning from them, learning their perspective, because,
our ego sometimes doesn't let us be coached, Jose. And one thing that I learned, you know what the word ego means?
No.
It means edging God out.
Oh, okay.
And when you do that, because, there's a lot of agents that come to me, well, I've been in the business 20 years. And I say, absolutely. And I appreciate you for that service. I kind of thank them like when I see a veteran. Yeah. But can you also agree with me, ma'am or sir? Has the market changed in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Don't things change? When is your grand opening?
Yeah. It's the Al Bundy stories, right? In high school, I did 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so like I tell, like, this is the reason why we consider this a sport. Like I tell people, it's like you're only good as your last season, and that's how you're gonna get paid. So, did your last season? Did you win or did you not win? Right.
Correct.
And so what's your scoreboard looking like? Right. So did you do 5 deals last year and you've been in the business 20 years? There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, no, that's true. I always tell people, we are in the Mamba room. You're talking about sports, right? We're athletes, and you're right. You're only good as your last sale.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you sold last year.
Mm-mm.
And the numbers, like you say, your stats, those are very important because people like to see and believe. Okay, if this guy's saying he's doing this, show me in order to believe it.
Correct.
But it should be the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Because if you believe in faith, you don't see it, but you can feel it.
Yeah. Sales is faith and discipline and all of that put together that equals a sale.
No, absolutely.
You need to have faith in it for sure.
Yeah. So, Jose, how do you stay date with the market trends and economic indicators? And can you provide any tips for aspiring new agents or brokers that are staying in the firm right now?
So how do I stay up to date? Honestly, I stay in the trenches. Yesterday, I made 100 dials.
Oh my God! Wait! You call?
Yeah.
You still door knock? Maybe not no more, right?
I don't door knock because I've never door knocked.
Okay.
I virtually door knock.
You digital door knock.
Yeah. I virtually door knock. Yeah.
I'm surprised you make calls. No, honestly.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people maybe think, oh, Jose's just in his office scrolling on the gram.
Oh, no. There was I stay in the game. I stay in the game. That's the only way to really kind of be able to give people first view perspective.
Correct.
And then so I don't do any of the deals. I really bag the deal and I just give it to my agents.
Nice.
So that's kind of the way I play it.
Okay. You incentivize them.
Yeah, I'm just like, if you're dialing there with me and I get somebody on the phone and I convert them and they want to meet an appointment, then I'll just say, hey, you know what? One of my agents is going to give you a call. And then
that's awesome. Not that many people do that, Jose.
Oh, yeah.
People are holding on to those deals right now.
Oh, yeah.
Every deal counts, bro.
Yeah, but, I learned that through giving, the universe just has a funny way of pushing back on it, right?
Correct.
So, if you learn how to give and give selflessly, and this is, 5 years ago, I stopped taking listings or buyers.
Nice.
Right? And so people were like, what? And then so they always ask me, how did you grow your company so quickly? And I was like, I just gave all my deals away. So I wasn't going to be the only one eating and seeing my team not eat. Like, that's not cool with me.
Cool.
Right? My team eats first, then I eat.
Correct.
That's the way I look at it. That's the way our leadership looks at it. And I think it's working out fine for us.
No, absolutely. And that's why you're here, bro.
Yeah.
You're one of my BMFs in the real estate world, guys.
Yeah.
So, Jose, are there any particular challenges or obstacles that
I wanted to finish off one touch, because this is funny because I was having a morning conversation with the team, and they were telling me, hey, Jose, well, you know what? These leads are they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? They're not good, huh? And then she's like, yeah, it just feels like I'm cold calling a lot of people. And I said, well, these are probably the highest actionable leads that you can get in the industry. So, she's like, well, I'm great on the phone, but I don't like to make phone calls. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense too much. But, so I said, well, why don't I do this? Why don't I, after the role play, why don't I dial in front of all of you guys, and then we'll see how it goes. Right? So my sixth call, I get a no. The person's like, hey, well, I'm not on the market anymore. I completely understand, not being on the market. But when you were in the market, what were you looking for? Well, how many bedrooms, how many baths?
Yeah.
Easy objection handling, right? And right away went into an appointment, and she was like, that was on my sixth call. I did 25 calls for them right in front of them. I got 3 appointments, and I was like, it took me 45 minutes to get 3 appointments on people that are in the pond that just literally, that one guy had 119 phone calls made to them.
Wow.
This year, we've done 380,000 single line dialer calls in our office so far. Yeah, and we've done 14,000 appointments.
So you guys don't burn the leads. You guys don't get these dialing systems like Mojo and all these.
No, we use Mojo for outside of our pond, right? So outside of what we have in our database for the agents, so we have ISAs that have a different database, and then we have our agents that are dialing our database.
Got it.
And these are high actionable leads. So it's just about catching them at the right time.
No, you're absolutely right. And like you said, a lot of the times we hear that from our small team, not our big team.
Yeah.
The leads don't work or they're not answering the call. I say, well, okay, well, how many times have you called them?
Yeah.
3 times. I'm like, did you know that the sale is actually made on the 8th to 15th touch?
Yeah.
3 times, you're barely touching the surface.
Yeah.
And then they start complaining about the leads. That's another episode I wanted to do called The Leads Don't Suck, You Do.
Yeah, and it's sharpening your skill set to be able to listen, to be able to understand where to take the conversation, and just having awareness and letting the game slow down for you, right?
Correct.
To pick up the opportunities that are there.
No, absolutely. You couldn't have said it any better, especially the way things are right now. I mean, if you're not making calls, it's pretty much 80% of our jobs is to follow up.
Yeah, and then agents have this mindset that we're selling like a bag of chips or something, right? Like where it's like transactional, where it's like, hey, you want to buy a house? Okay, cool. Sign right here. And then like somebody's going to do it, right? And it's like not understanding that you're selling some of the highest ticket items in the world, especially living in Orange County or the Southern California area.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so, I talk to teams from outside the country, and then it's like a house is 100,000, 150,000, 200,000.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, we're spoiled, right? And it's like we need to get the mindset of being transactional and start relationship building.
Correct.
So I try to create relationships with all of my clients because I tell them, you're not my one-time client, you're my lifelong client.
Yeah, no. Every contact is a contract.
Yeah.
The only thing that separates those two is the art, like you said, for relationships.
Yeah.
And people become very transactional. And people can sense those commission breath.
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with the girl from the gym across the street, and she's saying, oh, I want to get into real estate. I said, okay, great. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to really help people, or are you just trying to make quick dollar?
Yeah.
Because if it's the money you're chasing, it's not going to come to you.
Yeah, and I mean, we all get into this business because of money, right?
Correct.
And then so, but it's you having the right skill set to be able to help these people, solve their problem, right? And then hopefully, and then you get a commission out of that, right?
Correct.
So it becomes the byproduct.
No, absolutely. So, Jose, here's another question I have for you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody who's just starting out in the brokerage industry or a new agent? And are there any common pitfalls to avoid?
Yes. So first is the myth of being a listing agent right away. It's like most listing agents are going to tell you, if you were to ask them a straight up question, how long did it take you to become a listing agent? They're probably going to tell you it's like my 8th or 10th year in the business. Right?
Wow.
And then to me, I define a listing agent as somebody who only takes listings. He does not work with buyers. That to me is a listing agent. Right?
Correct.
If you're a quasi listing agent, meaning that you still work with buyers and sellers, then you're still in the in-between. Right?
Got it.
So I kind of went through that transition of being a buyer's agent, then being more of a buyer's listing agent.
Correct.
Then I became just a listing agent, and I literally would give I would still interview with the buyers. I would still talk to them. I would have my agents there with me. We would go through the entire interview, and then I would hand them off. Here you go. You go handle that. I take care of this part, right? And then now, obviously I've transitioned even out of that.
Correct.
So I don't even take listings anymore. I just give them away. I just gave away a $2.4 million one.
You have a good problem. You're giving away stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's how we make our team strong. That's how we keep our team together. Correct. Everyone is fed. Everyone is good. Everyone is happy. It's like you want to come to joyful environments like that. And if my entire team is doing good, then that means I'm doing good.
And not only that, loyalty. Yeah. They'll stick with you.
Yeah.
Because right now, I see it and you see it. A lot of bouncing around going on.
Yeah.
And people sometimes don't even give it 90 days.
Yeah.
Or they'll start complaining that, this doesn't work or that broke. And then I say, okay, well, tell me a little bit about you. Yeah. Right? You try to start doing your fact finding. Yeah. And then you find out, okay, this person's a gypsy. They like to move around.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of that. So I would say interview teams, interview what people can help you with. I would say leads are super important. Which is I coined this name from one of my friends, Cristiano's, LTS, leads, training, and systems, right?
Correct.
Or support, right? And then so, I'd interview different agencies, figure out what kind of leads they have, what kind of training they have, and what kind of support you're going to get after, right? I would definitely do that. I would definitely find a team that's able to provide you these things, because it's going to be really difficult in the beginning to have lead sources. So like if somebody walks into my office today, they automatically have access to 75,000 leads.
Wow. So they have somebody to call.
Yeah, they have somebody to call.
Wow.
Like day one. Right?
Okay.
And then from there we do what we call scrimmage.
Okay.
Right? So it's like before I put you in the game, we got to do scrimmage, right?
Correct.
And it's essentially what we do, especially for newer agents, is we try to like mimic, or we try to like run through scenarios of you actually being in escrow.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we'll do that type of training, and then we do sales training at the same time.
Got it.
Right. So office training and then sales training at the same time, and then that's a 30-day period that we do that for. And so you come into our office, probably 6 hours of your day are already documented for what you got to be doing every hour.
So they come in. You have a process, right? You bring them in. They have to come in and do their studying, their practicing, rehearsing. Yeah. And how long does it take before you hand them a lead?
It takes 30 days.
30 days. So for those 30 days, they got to just put their head down, be coachable, consume as much as they can.
Correct.
And then you send them out in the field.
Correct. And then we practice writing offers, packaging offers. We practice having the conversation with the listing agent. We like literally every single step. So taking the call, what it should sound like, setting up the appointment, what the next initial step is. So I'll give you an example, right? So for me, I take a lead. As soon as I finish with the lead, text message goes out, right? As soon as that happens, I'm calling that lead back in 5 to 10 minutes to either, hey, you know what? I wasn't able to get a hold of the listing agent. Do you mind giving me another 15 to 30 minutes to create this appointment? To me, that's just another touch, right? Because remember, we talked about touches, right?
Yeah.
So I almost kind of play with the game now of how many touches. So sometimes, essentially, like even if the property is vacant, like I just won't even call, right?
Okay.
But I'll call the client back and be like, hey, I'm still trying to get in touch with the agent.
Yeah.
And then I'll give them another call back in 30 minutes. So now, I told them my name. I'm Jose Samano. I told them my name by the time I finished. I sent them a text. I told them my name. I called them back, told them my name, called them back again. So that's 5 touches, told them my name, all within a 30-minute time span.
You're engraving Jose.
Yes, they know who I am.
Correct.
And then I try to be joyful, thousand smile, right? And then so, I try to get into this mood, right? And I kind of learned that because I went through a rough patch. And it was really difficult for me to come into the office and come in with that attitude. And again, sports, right? I was looking at the athletes and how they prepare, they have their headphones and all that kind of stuff. And
speaking about that, you got to watch this documentary. There's a lot of good ones on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called The Quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm even getting goosebumps. I don't know if the camera can see it.
Is that the one with
Mahomes?
Mahomes, yeah.
Yeah, Mahomes, a guy from the... Who was the other guy? Mahomes was getting most of my attention.
Yeah, Mahomes.
But there's a guy from the Falcons, and I believe the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
And these 3 quarterbacks is a behind the scenes with Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm amazed, bro.
Yeah.
How these guys train.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to know every single drill practice, every single player's move, not only know their team, the coaches plays, plus the opposite teams, what they do in formation.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Well, that's the same thing that I tell the agents. I'm like, you also gotta know the listing agents that you're going up against. You gotta know their moves. You gotta know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
You gotta know what they're gonna offer. You gotta know a lot of times when I go to listing appointments, I'm just trying to block the other people that are gonna come in. So I try to do this inception thing of creating a certain framework for the clients to look through. So I'm like, hey, yeah, when you're going to be interviewing other agents, make sure that you ask this question. Make sure that you ask this. Make sure that they show you this or they show you that. If an agent can't tell you this, then would you really want to hire it? Like, I'll do kind of like that point.
Yeah, in our sales, in the Empire Academy, we have this system called, what is your benefits, your features, and your advantages of hiring you?
Yeah.
Because they're going to ask you, why should I hire you, Jose?
Yeah.
I have Joe coming in, and I'm going to interview a couple agents. So, yeah, you need to know that. And you got to be, when that question comes up, like you said a little while ago, you were ready for that objection.
Yeah.
It needs to come out natural.
Yeah.
They want to know that, I'm hiring a shark.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to negotiating the way the market is right now, I don't know if you're having this issue, but even if you're a listing agent, there's always problems coming up.
Yeah, of course.
Every single file that I have has a problem. And,
of course.
And just like you were talking about a little while ago, is I haven't done a buyer in 2 years.
Yeah.
And they're right. There is a misconception or this myth that you need to go through the buyers first. You could learn the process and become a listing agent.
Yeah.
And I took a hit when I made that decision. Like for 6 months, I wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I told myself, I'm going to learn the business. I'm going to learn every single objection you can throw at me. And I haven't looked back since, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a little longer, right, to do it that way. Just because, like, I had an agent at my office. His name is Jason, and Jason, I mean, he's the most disciplined guy. I mean, that guy was on Mojo. I think he made like 70,000 calls in 6 months.
Wow.
And then he never cracked a listing until his 6th month. He cracked like 12.
Jesus.
Right. And then so it's like people are like, oh, I want to do what Jason does. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you're just seeing the result. You're not seeing what he did.
Yeah.
You know, like of like eating a cup of noodles and stuff like that, you know?
You know, it's funny you say that. I think before you got here, me and you were talking about this because there's another documentary. I'm big in documentaries. I even saw the one with the, I believe, James Webb Telescope that's right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's you got to look at it. I can't give you all the details, but the documentary about Jake Paul and Logan Paul, how they started. We only see what we see on TV, and we probably call these guys clowns like everybody else is.
Yeah.
But these clowns are smart.
Yeah.
They are promoters, bro.
Yeah.
They know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
And right now, the biggest currency is everybody needs to know who you are.
Yeah. Correct.
Omnipresence. You got to be everywhere. On every single social platform, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I tell my agents or everybody that's with us, like, omnipresence, be everywhere. Keep promoting, promote.
Yeah.
Because if people don't know about you, they're not going to do business with you.
Correct.
And the more you do it, the more eyeballs people see on you.
Yeah.
They're going to start paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game.
Money follows attention, bro.
Yeah, it's part of the game. I mean, I probably spend like $1,000 to $1,500 on boosted ads per month.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, speaking about boosted ads, I lately been seeing agents getting cheap on that, bro. I've been seeing a lot of cell phone pictures. Yeah. I get it. The houses are selling fast. We're getting between 10 and 15 offers. But don't be cheap.
Well, I think they're doing a disservice to themselves and they don't understand because once they compete against a professional agent who can showcase their past sales in such a way, that's actually another thing that I tell the sellers when I'm there. And I'm like, hey, look, this is my showcase of listings that I have. Every single one of them, you're going to notice one thing. I perform on all of them. Yeah. All of them have social content.
You got that 5-star review?
Yeah. I tell them, I know you want to give me 6, but 5 is cool.
Oh, shit. Right? That's funny. Yeah. So, man, it's just so crazy when you're saying that. I just also sent one of my clients a review. Yeah. Reviews are very important, right? It's kind of like, you know, me and my wife, like, where are we going to go eat today? We're still new here in Rancho. Yeah. And I know on Foothill there's at least 200 restaurants.
Yeah.
So she's like, why don't you Yelp it? So I go on Yelp. Yeah. And you're right. There's restaurants that have 300 reviews, and there's some that have thousands of reviews. Yeah. And I feel more confident going with the one with the more reviews.
Yeah. I tell my agents, practice your R&R. right? Reviews, referrals and reviews.
Okay.
Right. So not resting and relaxation. Right. And then and then this is one of the common mistakes that a lot of agents make. They wait to ask for the review once it's done. Right.
Yeah.
And you ask for the review and the referral at a heightened moment of like intense like satisfaction or joy for that client, right? So let's say you were able to knock off $20K off a house.
Yeah.
That's when you ask for the review. That's when you ask for the referral. Let's say you get an offer accepted for a seller. Hey, Mr. Seller, I just got you $50K above the asking price. Do you know anybody else, any sellers around the area that you think would be interested in maybe making $50K more?
Yeah, no, and you're right. I'm gonna steal that one from you. We always wait till the end.
Yeah,
when we hand the keys, or when we're like, "Hey, did escrow deposit that check?" Just checking in with you.
Yeah. No,
and then we forget about them.
Yeah.
One habit that I do have, Jose, is every time I talk to a listing that I'm nurturing, I always write them a personal letter.
Oh, that's nice.
And I thank them for their time.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
I always put a monopoly scratcher.
Yeah.
Real estate, right?
Yeah.
And it always works. And then I follow up a week later. Hey, Mr. Robert, Mr. James, did you get my postcard? Oh, yeah, Alfred, thank you so much. I said, did you win anything? No, I didn't win. Don't worry, I'll send you another one next month. How's everything else going?
Yeah.
So, Jose, real quick, can you share a memorable experience or a deal that stands out in your career from all the ones that you had? Because you had, over 1,600 deals. What is that one deal that you're like, it's not even the money? Like it probably touched you in your heart. Like the one I just closed not that long ago. I'm not going to say any names. She was struggling and she's a nurse, single mom. She just got a fiance. He's not working. He's a stay-at-home dad. And when I met them, I was literally in tears with them in the couch, bro. Yeah. And I was like, holy moly, how can I really wanted to help her. And I was able to close that deal cash in 15 days. And when I saw her yesterday, when I went to go pick up my lockbox, I've never had somebody say so nice words about me. And I was touched, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even care about going to escrow and picking up my check. I went home and I was like numb.
Yeah.
It was powerful.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's been a few deals. There's still people that I kind of remember quite a bit. Again, I used to do loans back in the day, so my favorite part was just helping my clients out. I think my record was like $796.64 out the bag.
Wow.
Right? That included the appraisal and home inspection.
Okay.
Right. So I was able to get down payment assistance for my client, and I got all the closing costs paid for, so they didn't have to come in with any money out of pocket besides the appraisal. And I also have a childhood friend of mine that he came to me. He's like, dude, I have a 586 FICO score. I can't buy a house. And I was like, I can help you buy a house. And then he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Just to give me all your stuff. Give me this. We had to do alternative credit for him. Did all this stuff for him. We got him into a house. He bought his house in Moreno Valley for I think it was like $300K. His home is probably like $600 right now.
Wow.
So he's because it was a few years ago. So he was really excited. As far as an accomplishment one, like one that wasn't like one that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking do this. You know? Was a client that I had in Rancho Palos Verdes, Mr. Lee, and he had listed his house 11 times.
Wow.
Before in a 4-year span, and hadn't been able to sell it. And so I show up, and Mr. Lee's like, hey, so what are you going to do for me? Blah, blah, And I was like, I don't even need a 6-month listing agreement. Give me 30 days. I'll sell your house in 30 days. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, give me your house. The reason why your house is not selling is because you've never hired a professional. You're trying to be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I come in when everyone else fails. That's when you call me.
Yeah.
Right? And
you're the sweeper.
Yeah. I was giving him game. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And then so I was like, look, I'm going to spend this much money to fix your house. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stage it. We're going to create content. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Then I'm going to do, we call it a saturated marketing approach. So we're going to do multiple social media ads, YouTube ads, things like that, to just let people know that your house is for sale.
Eyeballs.
Yep, that's what it takes, right? And then so I think our marketing plan is above, most brokers that I ever meet, right? And we really spend the money. Yeah. And that's the key.
You guys are not cheap.
Yeah, no, we're not cheap. I think every listing is probably like $500 to $1,500.
Wow.
On just marketing. So whether it's circle prospecting, whether it's social media ads, whether it's like, things like that. Like right now we have a new program called Listing Showcase by Zillow.
Correct.
And each one of my listings costs me $1,000
Jesus.
just to promote it. But the type of viewership that I get on there, it's like I'm putting you on the front page of the New York Times.
Wow.
So it's like it's the most visited website in the world. And so this is one thing that we're doing right now.
And as I'm listening to you saying that, I'm seeing all these things. I hate it when agents are cheap. I really hate when they're cheap.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't get it.
I mean, in football, they call it your tape, right? Like watching your tape, right? So it's like, this is your history. This is the way that you perform. And another one of my favorites is like, look, you're going to get an agent that's going to come in here and they're going to showcase all their highlights. They're just going to give you their highlight reel. I'm going to give you my entire, performance. So you'll be able to see like transparency. Like I could even do where they can look behind the scenes on my Zillow profile so they can see my customer service record. Because Zillow does surveys on all the clients that you take.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so they can see my survey on that. They can see our CSAT score, and they can see how we're performing across the country.
Correct.
And currently we're in the top 2% of all the agencies in the country.
Jesus Christ, man. We all got to step it up, guys. Step it up, guys. So, Jose, lastly, what do you enjoy the most about being a broker, and what keeps you motivated day after day?
What I enjoy the most, honestly, it's like seeing the agents be successful, giving people opportunity, especially the young guys.
Correct.
We have like 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds that are crushing it. Like specifically, this young lady that I worked with, her name is Jessica. Her first year, she was 18 years old. I was her coach. I was her mentor. First year, did 20 transactions.
Wow.
So she was either picking college or coming to real estate.
Yeah.
She stuck with real estate.
Jesus.
Right. Second year, I think she crushed over 25. I think first year she hit 150,000. Second year did over 200 and some $1,000 completely. Put her on a different path.
Yeah.
And I'm just super proud of her and everything that she's done. She owns her own house now, drives her Mercedes, like just little things like that. I think are things that I kind of take with me. The relationships that I have, like I tell people at the office, you guys are my only friends. Like, yeah, I've kind of shut down everything else. Like,
you have no life.
Yeah, this is what it is, and I have such a good time with everyone at the office. I enjoy being around them. Everyone is like just in a pretty good mood. Obviously, we go through ups and downs.
Yeah.
Mental health in real estate is something that nobody really talks about.
Correct.
And that is extremely important. I know a lot of agents who suffer from, alcoholism or, drugs or things like that. And it's just really kind of unfortunate because we go on this roller coaster on emotions, right? Like we have to take on all the emotion that a client is going through, all their problems. And it's kind of like the shoe repairman, right? Like you have holes in your shoes, but you're fixing everyone else's shoes, right?
Correct.
And it's like that sort of thing happens as well. And you forget to, slow down. And, my wife right now has really kind of helped me with that.
Okay.
She's very family oriented. My entire family, like I'm about to have a baby, my first baby. And, my family is just such a blessing.
Yeah, they keep you grounded.
Yeah. And my boy Jeff, is I wouldn't be here without him. He is definitely an inspiration to me. I look up to him in that way. He's just taught me he's a very like gritty guy. He's very nonsense type of guy. And, like there's certain things that he's told me that hurt my ego a little bit, but I needed to hear those things,
and it's funny as you're saying that, my wife is the same thing. She's very family is very important to her. And she always tells me, you're always working. You never disconnect.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like sometimes we're willing to sacrifice our success, our time, our just everything in general just to help as many people as I can, bro. It's just, It's such a rewarding feeling. And sometimes I question myself. I'm like, damn, like, God, why you give me all this and put me in front of all these people? Like, what am I here for?
Yeah.
I mean, we get beat up every day. We get beat up.
Yeah.
And like you said, we take on the stress that from our clients, and sometimes I get home and I have to park my car and stay in my car for 15 minutes until I defuse, because I want to make sure when I get home and my daughter greet me or my son, like I'm calm.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happens outside my house. I have to show up as Alfred the dad.
Yeah.
Because that is the most important title we can have.
Yeah.
I'd rather be successful as a dad than the opposite way, than be a successful realtor but a failure as a dad. That's the worst things I think I can tell you, because I know you're going to be a new dad.
Yeah.
Let us know what it's going to be. Give us your address. We would love to send you something.
Yeah.
I just had a boy, a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm going to leave a legacy behind.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, a lot of people don't know this, but I used to be a boxer.
Oh, no way.
I grew up in Lincoln Heights, and there was this building not that far on San Fernando Road. It was called the Old Jail.
Okay.
And there was a YMCA gym in the top. It was a boxing gym.
Yeah.
And I used to box with Oscar de la Hoya's cousin, which his name is Rudy Aparicio.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a professional boxer, and that's my favorite sport.
Yeah.
Because that sport, you're the only one on the ring.
Yeah.
Anybody can train you and all that, but at the end of the day, you're the only one inside that ring. And it's just like being an agent. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You have to be training every day.
Yeah,
And
I'm hoping you watch the Errol Spence versus what is the Errol Spence and Terrence Howard fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right now, he got beat up.
Yeah, they humbled him.
Yeah, they humbled him. Yeah, yeah. You need to come in ready. You can't be doing all this kind of stuff.
So people get all flashy, bro.
Yeah. And then I'm looking forward to. Boxing is also one of my favorite sports. Gervonta Davis and El Pitbull de la Cruz.
Oh yeah, man. Hopefully they don't steal the fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me know where you're gonna watch it at.
Well, I'm hoping that they do it because I don't think right now they're fighting.
Yeah, they're still talking about it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they do it because I think that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Yeah. And then I love watching Inoue.
Okay.
The monster Inoue.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. So sorry guys if you guys are not boxing fans, these are all good fighters.
Yeah, these are all great fighters.
Yeah,
I mean, boxing is just it's alive. It's not dead.
Yeah.
I love my UFC. I love my UFC, but you're my BMF guy. Yeah. I can't wait to take you that gift to your office. So first off, I want to thank you, Jose, for being here. I know you're a busy guy. Once again, I know you never say no to me. I'm in debt with you. Whatever you need from me,
thank you.
Just call me.
Yeah.
If we gotta beat somebody up, just tell me whose car we're taking. That's it. I'm not gonna ask you questions.
It's a rental
But other than that, I want to thank you for being my special guest on my brand new shows called Spitting Fire.
Spitting
Fire, guys. We're working our way through. And just thank you for everything and everything that you share with us and out of your busy life. I know you got to get back to work.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of stuff going on. Maybe we'll bring you on another episode. Maybe see how far I can get.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm down. So, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I like the energy. I like the questions. I like the impromptness of it. I feel like the show heart to heart.
Yeah.
We just need a few wine drinks, but it's a little early today.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. We're working our way through, and definitely we're gonna be adding some stuff. We're actually gonna be trying to go mobile too.
Oh, nice.
To be at events. You know, you talked about that. You like events.
That's super dope.
We have an event coming up real quick. Last 2 events actually the end of the month that you're going to be with us. You're going to be on our empowerment speaker.
Yeah, okay.
That's August 31st. That's in the city of Chino.
Okay.
That event we give back to the community.
I'm down.
You're there pretty much just to tell people your story.
I mean,
there's somebody out there that needs to know Jose.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's people that are struggling, that have mental health, and sometimes even if they've been in the business as long as you have, they need that reassurance to keep going, to be consistent, to keep showing up. And eventually, like I always say, you only got to be lucky once.
Yeah. And then Follow Up Boss Con is coming. And so if you've never been on Follow Up Boss, I would say for sure go. It's the way that they've curated the event. It's really about learning new tools and skill set. And you're a lot of like-minded individuals. It's probably, to me, the best convention I've been a part of.
What city is it in?
It's going to be in LA this year. I think it's September.
Okay.
Around that time. But yeah, you just look them up. Follow Boss Con. They're going to have great speakers. I think my boy Jeff is going to be speaking at it as well.
Nice.
He's going to be one of the speakers there. So
a lot of people don't know this, but the owner of Follow Boss, 2 years ago, me and him were partying in Vegas at an event.
Oh yeah, Dan Corco.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
It was awesome, and you know what? I'm gonna go to that Follow Boss event and see Ricardo. Ricardo's a big part of Follow Boss.
Ricardo is the man. Ricardo, see you soon.
Yeah, Ricardo, reach out to me, my boy. Also, before we end it, August 29 on a Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm teaming up with my friend Neil from Offer Central.
Okay.
We're starting to get into the wholesale space, the meetups and all that. We're doing our second meetup. This is round 2, powered by Empire Academy and Offer Central. You're invited. It's going to be at Mezcal Cantina in Riverside once again.
Perfect.
Look out for those flyers, guys. But once a thing, Jose, how do people get a hold of you? Go ahead and...
Yeah, I mean, just follow me on my Instagram, Jose Roberto Samano, and or go to my website, joserobertosamano.com. Or you can always just give me a call, 714-925-4418. I try to be available to people.
Absolutely. You heard it from the man himself, Jose Samano, Spitting Fire, right. Episode number 2. See you guys on the next one. Peace out. And don't forget, be great. Nothing else pays. 10X.
10X.
All right, Jose.
All right, cool, brother.